Before they built the bridge to Campobello Island, New Brunswick, the cars, you had to go over there by the car ferry. This is the town of Lubec. And the car ferry stopped at the what's now a boat ramp. And there was the scow towed by a boat. This is the day of the dedication of the bridge with the flags in August 1962, August 13th or 14th. And this is the location. They had to take this down to make room for the bridge. It was part of an old war from years and years ago. But the fish on these flat things are called flakes, and these are called racks. And they put those in steam boxes and steam cooked them. And then they were brought to the packers, and where they were soft, that's when they started calling us herring chokers, because they were steam cooked in that. And this is the smoked herring industry. They would have the herring. Here's what these buildings are called horses, and you had herring sticks, long sticks, and you take your thumb and open the gill of the fish and put them on these sticks, and then put them on these racks called horses. And then they were put up in the buildings, and
oh, look at that! Yeah, that's
well,
right.
and they built a smoky fire down below. So then they were smoked, and then after they were smoked, these are the women. They'd take the skins off of them, so you just had the two flat, flat pieces like the fillets. Only they were all smoked.
Okay, so a lot of these came from the Lubec Herald.
Yeah, had been at one time or another in the Lubec Herald. It was going to be called it the Quoddy Dam. It was going to be for tidal power. It was going to generate, with all the force of the tides, it was going to generate enough tidal power, so this would be, but it fizzled out in the 1930s, the Quoddy Dam tidal power project.
There she is.
And that's Ed Muskie.
Where's that? There he is, yeah.
Huh?
There's Ed Muskie, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was called the White Bill. That was sometime in the 1930s. It was loaded with coal, and it shipwrecked, and the bow of her is right in what is called Gulliver's Hole. It's a part in the cliffs down Quoddy. As you walk the trail on Quoddy Head, you'd see Gulliver's Hole, and that was a four-masted schooner. And it went from Lubec to Welchpool, Campobello, to Eastport, and to North Lubec. And as far as my school days, I'll tell you this, before I started high school, the students that went to high school up in this northern section of North Lubec used to come down and get the ferry, and this used to become stock pasture, all this area right here where we are now, where my house is, and this was a pasture road. And those students used to come down here through the pasture road and catch the ferry. The students who lived down in the other section would come up, and there was a road that went to the ferry, and they'd catch the ferry, go to Lubec in the village, and they'd have to walk out to the high school, maybe a mile or so. But here's the kicker. I went to the one-room schoolhouse. I started in the summer of 1930. They took the ferry off of the North Lubec run. It still went to Lubec, Campobello, and Eastport, but they took this North Lubec run off in the summer of 1930. I started high school in the fall of 1930. As fortunate as luck would have it, that first winter I had a cousin who taught school in the village, and she used to drive back. She had a little whippet car, and they called it the whippet car, so I rode back and forth with her. But the rest of the time we walked.
Wow.
And I lived up beyond here. That was 5 or 6 miles.
They probably didn't have a lot of cars back then, did they?
No.
So you were you were lucky to have a ride.
Yeah, for that one winter,
Gosh.
for that year, 1 year. And the other 3 years I got there, we walked 5 or 6 miles from here down to high school.
Oh my, you really did?
I really did.
I mean, you hear people saying, when I was your age, I used to walk 3-5 miles.
Well, this is...
you did it.
Yeah, and I would have lived a mile or more up here, so it was probably at least 6 miles one way to back and forth to school. And many times then they had the fire whistle we used to call the jumbo. And if there was a fire, it would blow so many whistles. I had its code. But if it blew 5 whistles, that meant no school. Many times we'd be halfway to school when the jumbo would blow 5 whistles for no school because it was storming or something like that. And so that went on, and I graduated in June of 1934. And that fall, they started transporting the kids. They rigged up a flatbed truck and put benches on it for seats and started taking them back and forth by car. But the 4 years I went to school, I got there the best way I could. These are some of the buildings that was on Treats Island. That was even way back in, I'll say well, there was a lot of buildings on there in 1865 and around the turn of the century. And this is the Namatanal Hotel. It was a summer resort hotel up at the end of North Lubec. And they had their own ferry wharf, and that's it there. And the summer people used to come in on the big steamers from Boston and New York that would land in Lubec, and then they had their own ferry to come up. And so that was a summer resort hotel. And that burned in August. There was a forest fire way on the other side of the road, and it burned several houses. It caught that and burned that flat, and that was in August of 1921. And I've been told, and it must be so, because I had sisters that were teenagers at the time. I was only 4 years old. And my teenage sisters were at that hotel fire, or up around there. The woods was burning all around. And that's where Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in that August of 1921, because some of my sisters were standing right beside him. And one of my oldest sister, she was probably 17 or 18 or so then, she was standing beside him, and she remembered him working one of these hand pumps, some kind of a hand pump.
Right.
And then so I understand, and it was shortly after that he came down with the polio. But he was at that fire when that Namatanal Hotel burned on North Lubec in August 1921.
Tell me.
Right there.
Where?
Here.
That's you?
That's me.
Oh, look how cute you are.
Oh, wasn't I adorable?
You were.
But there's another one here that I'm a little closer, and I look like a sourpuss, and I've got a droopy hair ribbon on. And that's my teacher, Minnie Go. She's the only school teacher I had until I went to high school, from the 1st grade through the 8th. Now, this is my one room. This is before it was torn down, just before it was torn. This is the one-room schoolhouse that I went to.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And this is another schoolhouse on North Lubec. I said this had 2 stories, an upstairs and downstairs. Well, when my sisters were young, they used to play basketball in there. But then of course, that burned before I was able to go. But I know my sisters used to come home on their vacations from Massachusetts, and then it was a dance hall. And then when they, of course, always wanted to go to the dance Saturday night, and I was only 9, 10 years old, and we had to walk from there down there. But my mother was always, go down and take me down, and we'd sit and watch the dances. And oh, didn't I love to dance?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you dance your whole life?
Huh?
Did you like dancing your whole life?
Oh, I like to dance.
Still to this day, probably.
Yeah, she can get by. Huh?
Still to this day.
Yeah.
Love to dance.
Yeah, play music. And God, I invented rock and roll. Only I can't stand rock music now.
You don't like it now?
Oh, no, I don't. I like the old-fashioned music.
Oh, do you? The standards? Hey, this is your neighbor.
Yeah.
She's going to say hi. She's going to be on TV, too.
Come right here.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Did Edith tell you she was going to be on TV?
No.
Yeah, Down East TV. We just did a little piece with her.
Good.
It's
I've
great
been down to
stuff.
Quaddy Head all over, telling them all Lubec history, and
You got the right person.
She's awesome.
Isn't she?
Awesome.
and this is Diana Wilson,
Nice to meet you.
and this
Gino.
is Gino. This is Gino.
Hi, Gino.
Nice
And
to meet you.
she doesn't have Pine Tree cable. She has the dish.
Oh, you got the dish?
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to go to somebody's house.
I'll come visit her.
Exactly. Come on over and watch the
Oh,
show.
you bet.
Good.
Uh-huh. But we've had a great time.
Good.
Uh-huh.
I'm taking.
I can sure pick the good-looking men.
Yeah, you sure can.
Hey, thank you.
I'm on my way down to take some beet greens to the girls down at the apartments down to Jerry in Alberta.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's nice.
See you later.
See you.
Okay.
Nice meeting you. So you got a little bit of a farm, too? She grows a little beet greens?
Oh, she has just a little garden. She grows some beet greens, and she's got corn planted, and she's got cucumbers and tomatoes. And it's a nice little, this hill's awful rocky, but her husband, he's one of these jack of all trades. They bought railroad ties, and they had fill hauled in, so it's all off in sections. But so she has some few fresh vegetables. She's given me beets and beet greens, and I'll get some cucumbers and tomatoes and so forth.
That's great having a neighbor like that.
Oh, they're wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
They really are.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
What a sweet lady. I had a wonderful time with you.
Well, I have
you know, and
you want to come in and have a cookie, or I'll give you some?
Yeah, let's go. I'll come in and have a cookie. Is that good? Do you need me to help you with that? You got it. Boy, you're one of the best, Edith. Most people, that becomes a big ritual here in the show. Nobody gets out that easy.
That garage door.
Gosh.
And twice this summer I had flus or allergies, and I was kind of under the weather. And either Doug or Diana mowed the lawn. But the last time I get on my riding mower, I hot rod around the lawn.
You know, you'll probably live to 100. You'll be one of those lucky folks that live to 100.
I don't know. If I could stay as healthy as I am now, that would be fine.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, I wouldn't want to.
No, okay.
No. Yeah, well then.
All right, let's have a cookie.
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe you can get one of those.
You bet I will.
I'll get out first.
You bet.